But let's kick things off, shall we, with a game that's just finished at Anfield.
A game? You call it a game?
Well, we call it something. Of course, it'll be played over two legs, these semi-finals. Liverpool in that draw alongside Fulham, Everton and Chelsea. For more on this, pitch side, Nadim Manua joins us. Nadim... Oh, wait, we haven't got Nadim at the moment. Well, was this just about one team carrying the other team not?
I think they cared. I just think they were so poor in their execution. I mean, we saw a team. We had two of Shaq's old teams, right, in the last 2 days: Newcastle and West Ham. Right, okay. West Ham had the tougher task away from home at Liverpool because they're a much better side than Chelsea. But Newcastle have got this well-documented injury list and players missing, key players. They've had all these games. And yes, they went out because they shot themselves in the foot, basically. But at least they went to West London and put a fight up. Yeah. A rearguard effort and put a fight up. There was none of that in this game. And yes, from the Liverpool perspective, we'll get to it, that was a slick performance by a changed team. But from West Ham's point of view, the Jared Bowen goal in the part, the rest of it was an utter shambles. And I go back to my point at half time. This is the kind of performances that get tongues wagging about David Moyes at this football club, saying, look, yeah, we've had Europa League, Europa Conference success. Yes, we're in the top half of the league, but with the players we've got, what we're seeing on the field in terms of a product needs to be better. And it certainly wasn't tonight.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is Football Connect reaction video that is on the way. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section on what Craig is saying. What are you expecting? What did you think about the Fulham's performance? Do you think that this was just a team that decided to roll over? Do you think that this was a team that did not show any, interest in actually trying to perform in the game? Because of course we are comparing it to the Chelsea versus Newcastle, where we are hearing Craig talking about that this was actually a team that wanted to prove something. Now in this moment with West Ham, this is a team that did not even show any fighting spirit, even to do something to show us that there is some belief in getting something, in trying to get something. We did not see that, and those are the questions. Those are the sort of questions that people are asking. What was that? How did we actually survive to watch this game and actually wonder exactly what are we expecting from this game? Because when you are West Ham, you are a West Ham fan coming so far from where you came from to come and watch your team perform against Liverpool, and you will see them being rolled over like that. You'll be kicking yourself in the foot because you'll be like, why did I waste my money? Why did I even bother to come this evening to just see me being walloped and humiliated the way I am? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get into this video. Let's hear what Shaka has to say.
In comparison with Newcastle, at least Chelsea put out, or at least a near enough full strength team. But you're West Ham, you come to Anfield, never an easy task. You see the 6 changes and you think, well, yeah, we could have a go here. But at no point in this game did West Ham look like they cared, like they wanted to be in the draw for the next round. Nobody's bothered to make a challenge anywhere within 30 or 40 yards of their own goal. To say it was embarrassing, and where I disagree with Craig, and while yes, there will be, of course, speculation about David Moyes, there always is, unless David Moyes said to these players, don't bother to make a challenge. I'm not sure how you explain that. I'm not sure how professional footballers at this level simply refuse to make a challenge in and around their own box. I mean, the defending was embarrassing. It really was. And as a result, Liverpool just run amok. A very understrength Liverpool at that.
Most of the West Ham fans are going to be pointing at David Moyes in terms of how the game went on but this West Ham team looked like they did not care. It looked like they did not care because there is this expression that is always repeated by troops where he shouts and he goes like, you got budget. from start to finish, I didn't see West Ham in the game. I watched almost 45 minutes. And I think I can count it, the amount of times I think I saw West Ham in the side of Liverpool. I can count the amount of times I think I saw West Ham actually going the other side of Liverpool. All the time it was Liverpool all over. They were controlling this team. They were in fact, they were controlling how this team was actually supposed to look. If it wants this team to face this other direction, they were doing that. And you can never blame a manager for a team refusing to do simple things like tackles. You can never blame a manager. That is really unbelievable. I've never seen, to any point, to anyone who can come in and explain to me, have you ever seen any managers being blamed that your team did not show any fighting spirit, did not show like they wanted to do the tackles, did not do the little things, and he's actually been blamed for the performance or the poor performance we are seeing from the team? Blaming David Moyes, actually, I feel like it's unfair in terms of how the team played on, because, of course, we might say that they were saving some likes of players like Paqueta for the game against United on Saturday, but there was no any sort of belief that they were going to try to fight and do something in the game. They did not show us that, and I don't think that we even if we had played until tomorrow, would even ever find ourselves watching this game with that part of West Ham, because they were just terrible. They did not do enough, and Liverpool, which was on Sunday distracted over the United games, they were distracted and frustrated. Today we're not frustrated. They were very focused. They wanted to get something, and they did so well as a team. I did not see that same mentality from this West Ham today when we were playing it.
Question. Why does it not make more sense for West Ham to put their best 11 out? Mm-hmm. And the argument from some would be, well, they're in the Europa League and they're in this. They're sitting 8th in the Premier League. They're never, ever, ever going to be relegated, certainly not this season with the guff that's in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might say, well, we're pushing for another European place through our league form, but really they're in that position where they're not at a risk of anything. So, you go to Liverpool, Klopp's going to make changes, City are out, United are out, Arsenal are out because you've put them out. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, I know that, but a full strength West Ham tonight, bearing in mind the position they're in the league, would that not have been a better way to go? He's made changes, it hasn't worked. They've been absolutely walloped.
Yeah, yes, West Ham in the Europa League, but you're in the Europa League at a stage where the Champions League clubs are now coming down into that competition. You're offered the chance to play in a semi-final here.
Yeah.
And a semi-final where the other three teams aren't really that strong. This has to be, had to be, West Ham's best road to any kind of silverware. Europa League and what comes with winning that aside, this had to be West Ham's best opportunity to win silverware. And to see that, I cannot fathom any kind of an excuse.
Nathan?
That we're hearing here from Shaq and actually Craig, that West Ham, it's one of the teams that actually knocked the likes of Arsenal out of this tournament. They played so well and they got this team out of the tournament. The likes of Man City were knocked out and they played so well in helping to do so. This was one of the things that was going to be easy for them. Sacrifice and try to play as good as you can in this game to go to the next level against Liverpool. Try to give your all, because after that you have Fulham, Chelsea or anything, but sooner or later you will be reaching this one. There was also Middlesbrough. Maybe you would have gotten Middlesbrough and you'll be going to the final of the Carabao Cup. If you are West Ham, if you are the players, if you are getting into the final and winning the Carabao, the domestic cup, after winning an international cup last season in terms of the Europa Conference League Cup, imagine how much that builds into your team. Imagine that belief that you are actually the London team that keeps winning awards and actually winning trophies. But the way West Ham performed, man, I could not understand what I was seeing. I just could not understand. They never got into the game. They never showed that they were interested in whatever that was coming out of the game. They never. And now you wonder, we're here now talking about them. That's how things are at the moment. So anyway, let's hear what Nedum Manyoa had to say about this game and what he thought of the games. But you can hear it's all about disappointment. We were really impressed by Liverpool, and I'm actually wondering that we are almost close to the finish of the video and I haven't had any mention of how good Liverpool were. But anyway, if they don't, I'll do it myself. So let's continue.
What do you want to talk about? Good Liverpool or bad West Ham?
Well, if I've got time, I'd like to talk about both. I think from the West Ham perspective, yes, they did make changes, but the team he's put out there, it's not the first time playing together, because you have seen them play in other games throughout the season. You've seen them play in the Europa League, you've seen them play in the earlier rounds of this cup competition as well. And I was stunned how passive they were. I think in the first half there were times when they wanted to go and try and play out from the back, but then you could see that one or two players were hiding and didn't want to receive it, so that didn't work. And Liverpool pressed them really well. So then second half they say, well, let's go longer, but they'd lose the first ball, the second ball, and then be caught in transition. So the fact that they basically took a back foot to everything that the manager probably asked them to do, I think is hugely disappointing. And as you mentioned with some of those goals, you've seen Curtis Jones walk straight through the middle of the team, and I know he's had a good game and is a fantastic player, huge talent, all this stuff, but be competitive. I think at the end of that game, Liverpool feel like they ran more. You know, they played more channel balls. They were better from set pieces. They're almost better from every single side of that. And credit to Liverpool, they made their changes and they still had a good flow. It was still in a good moment, creating chances, taking chances, feeling confident. But that from West Ham, for me, is just hugely disappointing because, again, there's so many times, I'm sure the guys would say this, where, you know, you lose games and as you walk away, you're disappointed because, you know, maybe things didn't go your way. But today, nothing from my perspective was right about West Ham apart from that goal from Bowen, which in the grand scheme of things meant so little because they were never in a chance of winning this game from the very first whistle to the final whistle as well.
Now you get on a flight back to London or a bus, whatever it is, and you've been beaten. It happens, you know what I mean? You go to Anfield, it can happen, right? There's no doubt about that. But you go back, if you've put a fight up and you've created chances and you've made tackles and you've defended stoutly and they've broken you down with a bit of brilliance, you can accept that. And I think the supporters can accept that as well. I think what's unacceptable is just the very, and we've all touched on it, the very meek and pedestrian nature of how they went about this. A competition that is important for them. A competition where, let's be honest, there was more chance of them winning the Carabao Cup than there is of being successful in Europe again. So it's almost unexplainable how the opportunity was there. This was a weakened Liverpool side, not a bad Liverpool side, but certainly a weaker one. And to lose in the manner in which they did, and no shots in the first half, nothing at all, no real changes of any. Paquetá 57 minutes. The other changes not until the game was dead and buried. I'm actually intrigued to hear what David Moyes, if we get any quotes from him after the game. Normally, what managers say half the time is gobbledygook, but I'm actually intrigued how he's going to sort of spin this one to say, look, I take the blame, or is he going to put it on the players? Because that's 5 goals against Fulham, 5 goals again against Liverpool, and a side that's, you know, it prides itself on being defensively very solid. Not good enough.
And we're hearing because Shaka picked Liverpool, West Ham aren't offering up anybody to speak to Alexis after the game.
Okay.
They want to see some loyalty from the Hammer of the Year. The draw will be in about 15 minutes. We'll come back to it and discuss it with Naden, but first...
Are we going to go to the draw live just to spare us a few minutes? No, Craig,
no. We're not going into it live.
Well, I'll start talking about the club's World Cup again if you don't.
Going on. I'm moving on now.
Interesting take, people, from what we're hearing here in terms of how West Ham never really got into the game. In fact, it's to be honest, when you look at how the game was played, we saw ourselves watching a Liverpool which were hungry. They wanted to do something. What we saw against United was unacceptable. To be honest, what we saw from Liverpool was unacceptable. And today, according to the Nedum, according to Shaq, even according to Craig, Liverpool were pressing. They were putting so much pressure. They tried to win the balls and actually do so well, which in a way shocked West Ham, because West Ham were hoping to play with the Liverpool that is still shaken, which is still showing some weakness, some weakness that they can take advantage of. We never gave them that opportunity. Liverpool played with everything that they had. They put so much pressure, and in that they got 5 goals. For in terms of West Ham, a team that really prides themselves with a good defense, 5 goals against Fulham, 5 goals now against Liverpool, and 5 goals up against, I don't know, is it Newcastle? That has to stop. That has to stop for a team that wants to achieve something. Of course, they'll never get relegated because, we still have our Sheffield and our Luton. You never know what those 2 teams are going to do. Even our Burnley, I think it is the worst team that has come from relegation that is giving us really absolutely nothing. But in terms of West Ham, if this was any other season playing like this, it was going to be difficult. In fact, you would think that the Carabao Cup was actually the best way to get into a silverware, as now it seems like they're doing those things, winning silverware. But now they have to hope and see what happens as the game goes. But the pressure becomes so much, it builds up and it causes so much havoc. I would really like what Craig is saying, to hear what David Moyes will say in terms of trying to spin this and actually say something in the game. I would really love to hear that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How was Liverpool versus West Ham? Did you enjoy the game? What are you expecting? By the way, Liverpool are going to be playing Fulham their next game, as well as Chelsea will be playing Middlesbrough. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. I'm your host, Sam. We'll be back again with another one. We're out. Peace.